Howdy ho.
Welcome back to
I don't know where that came from. I'm in my Stagecoach era.
but it was giving Mickey Mouse at Stagecoach.
Oh God. Welcome back to Internet Girls. We're serious
That's
people.
accurate for this stage of your life.
Wow, we are off to a great start today, you guys. I feel like both of us are so sleep deprived and tired, and we're just gonna be like doing our best.
Yeah, 100%. I am in a state of delirium, and Hannah is for obvious reasons. Mine is self-inflicted. I guess you could say we're both self-inflicted if we're being technical.
This is very accurate, though. Yeah, Tori wrote me today and was like, let's do a pop culture episode. And I was like, I don't know what's going on with pop culture. And she was like, yeah, you do. And I was like, no, you're right. I do. But I'm just like in my own little bubble. Like, no one else exists.
I know. I was like, what about all this stuff? And she's like, oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
There's a world out there.
Isn't that crazy? But yeah, Tori, you just got back from New York.
Yes. I went to New York. Concrete dreams of working.
Nope. That's not it. A rendition by Tori.
Yeah, you know, the gist of it is the vibes there.
The vibes are there.
It was really cool because a brand that Hannah and I both know and love so much and is really special to me because I have PCOS and I grow facial hair. You can see it right here. And it has like decreased my face. So, okay, there's a brand called Smooth Skin. This is not a sponsored episode. I wish it was. One day it will be, I bet. Smooth Skin does like at home IPL devices. And they sent me one a gazillion years ago. And a lot of brands, whenever I started talking about having facial hair online, had reached out to me and wanted me to like promote or try their device or whatever. But they were the only brand that was like, hey, try this device. We're very confident that it's going to work for you. And if it does, we would love to do a long-term partnership with you. And I was like, okay, sure. And the other brands were just like, hey, we'll pay you for a video. You know what I mean? So like they just came off like very genuine. So I tried it and it really did help reduce my facial hair a lot. Like I saw really good results. So then me and them, we've been BFF. We've been working together for years. Like me and them have had some like our videos together get millions of views. Like one time I had one get like 30 million views. It was crazy. But
that's insane for like a sponsored post too.
I know. And not even just that, like that whole year, almost every single one hit 1 million views, which is also insane for a sponsor.
The magic.
Yeah.
That is like pure magic. Like if you're a brand, like holy shit.
Yeah.
That is like amazing.
We're like obviously best friends. They were having their very first like brand event and it was in New York, so they offered to fly me out for it so I could go. And it was a small little brunch, but like still so cool because I've never you know, I always talk about how I never get invited to events, which I should stop saying that.
Because you do. And also they flew you out?
Yeah, and they got me a hotel.
That's so nice.
I know. It was so
nice.
Nice.
I know that they know I just had a baby, but I'm still like kind of offended I wasn't invited.
I know. Yeah. Well, they kept them all. Everyone else was from New York. It was all New York local people. They just, and the only reason is because like I'm so close, so it was like easy. You know what I mean?
And you are obviously their most successful influencer.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. When the girls there was like, who was there from like the UK, she was like, "You're very important to us." I was like,
"That's so cute."
And I was like, "You're
like, good. Keep me happy."
I'm right. No, but Hannah, I embarrassed myself. I meant to tell you this. Okay. So the event ended. I said goodbye to everyone, like da da da. And I was like, I gotta pee. So I like ran to the restroom. I went pee and I was just like really excited, whatever. And I was like, shoot, I didn't take a picture with my contact, I'm not going to shout out her name, and the girl who's like my contact's boss, who was there from the UK, because this is a UK based brand. My contact is American because they opened up American like division fairly recently, like in the past year. Anyways, so I was like, oh shoot, I didn't take a picture with him, so I ran back and I was like, I was just peeing, and I was like, I didn't take a picture with you guys.
I love that for you. The honesty.
And when the words, I was just peeing, came out of my mouth, I didn't realize that it was like a weird thing to say until like I saw the lady from the UK's face.
Yeah, she's like, Americans.
She's like,
she's like, you wash your hands, I presume.
yeah. No, but she was like, and I was like, oh, okay. And when I tell you, I've not stopped thinking about that moment for like,
God. It's like been haunting you before you go to sleep at night.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
That's wild of you.
I know, but I just ran out of the bathroom and was like, oh my gosh, we forgot to take a picture. I was like, I was just peeing and just realized that we forgot.
I mean, if they're familiar with your content at all,
yeah.
they gotta know that that's just Tori.
Yeah. But, you know, I, to be honest, wouldn't have said that. I don't know why. Like, what would you have said? Because I'd already said bye to them. So that's why I was, like, providing context of, like, why I came back, you know? Because they thought
I would have said, like, hey, we forgot to take a picture. Not, hey, I was just peeing. But I love that you said that.
No, but they thought I had left the event because I said bye to them.
Oh, I was in the loo. Yeah. You know what moment has been haunting me is right when we like got home from the postpartum retreat and we were like going on one of our first walks with Charlie. We had her in the stroller and we walked by one of our friends' houses who has two little girls who are like 3 and 5, not the ones across the street, but a different one.
Oh, really? There's more.
Yeah. There's more. We're not quite as close, but they're really cute too. And I say to the 5-year-old, I'm like, oh my gosh, do you think she's cute? And this kid looks at me and is about to be like, no. And her mom's like, yeah, you think she's cute, right? And I was like, why did I ask that? Like, this has been haunting me ever since. Like, why did I ask this 5-year-old if she thinks my baby is cute? Like, like I'm just fishing for compliments out here from a 5-year-old.
You're like, tell me my baby's cute, 5-year-old.
I just like replay this over and over, and her mom looked like traumatized because her kid was about to be like, no. I actually think she's not cute. Thanks for asking.
No. See, but the good thing is that mom has like been through giving birth twice, so she knows, like, you know.
Yeah, because I'm over here like, my baby's especially beautiful, but this 5-year-old doesn't know that. She's like, I'm not really into babies, actually. I think your baby's hideous. If we're being honest.
She's like, that baby doesn't look like my baby dolls. She's not plastic.
Ew. Yeah. Every time I see them, I'm like, yeah, I did that. It looks so fun though, and I'm so jealous you got to meet the contacts. I won't say their names, but like, I love them. I might work with them again.
You should.
Soon, now that I'm no longer pregnato.
Typically, I work with them like every month or every couple of months, but they have like this big launch coming up, so they've been really wanting to like save everything for this big launch, which was supposed to be this event, but the launch got pushed back, but the event was already like set in motion, so they ended up just like doing the event anyways.
Just you and the New York influencers.
Yeah, I met some influencer girls.
Are you on the New York influencer Reddit snark page?
Every once in a while I'll creep up there and just take a quick look, but that's not like where I typically spend my Reddit time.
I would say that is typically where I spend my Reddit.
Really? What did they say? Tell me.
Well, it's just like, it's such a funny snark page. I haven't been on there in like a hot minute because, you know, parenting and all, but I've just learned so much about the New York influencer scene, and like, it's just the most prolific like in the country. So it's really fun to read about like all the drama and like, I met this person and they're a bitch, and I met this person and they're actually really nice, and oh my god, did you see this cringe thing this person posted? Like, it's just, I mean, people are haters, but sometimes it's fun to read.
No, I need to get on there. It was fun. It was really cute. The hotel that I stayed at was like right in the middle of, so it was in Soho, which I love staying in Soho because it's just in the middle of everything.
I
And
love
then
Soho.
I know it's so good. Matt and I decided we're gonna buy a studio in New York City, which I know sounds crazy, but why does it sound crazy? They're not that expensive. Like they are.
But for a studio, I feel like that's not as
Yeah,
bad. Like everyone wants bedrooms. Bedrooms are so overrated.
exactly. And you just need it to lay your head down. But and we're just gonna decorate it really cute because their studio's there for like 350K and like really
No
great.
freaking way.
Yeah, and like really great neighborhoods, like 350K in like Soho.
Well,
So,
shoot, chump change.
which
Do it. Do it.
yeah, so I think we're gonna do that eventually, not like tomorrow or anything, but like in the near future.
Oh my God. Can you? Okay. I just like, I see our future right here. You're going to be cool Auntie Tori, cool, rich Auntie Tori. And you'll have this apartment in New York. And Charlie will be a teenager. And she's going to be like, oh my God, mom, I was talking to Tori and she said I could go stay at her apartment in New York for the summer. And I'm going to be like, no, you can't. And then you're going to call me and be like, oh my God, let her stay at the apartment for the summer. Don't be such a buzzkill. And then I'll be like, damn. Can't argue with that.
Like, let her live. Let her have these experiences. Come
I
on.
know. You're going to be like, don't worry, Charlie. I'll talk to your mother. Our futures are bright.
No, 100%. And then, and you and I will go pop in, and then
Yeah.
pop out.
I'll be like, well, I don't stay in studios, but you can because you're
No.
young. Me,
At
I
that-
stay in the penthouse.
Yeah, see, at that point, I'll still have the studio, but then like I'll be like, no, I'm staying at like the plaza or something.
Yeah,
Like, you know
yeah.
what I
Rich
mean?
Auntie Tori. That's what I'm saying. No, you know what John and I were talking about yesterday though? We keep thinking like, oh my God, Charlie, like she's gonna want to do this crazy thing when she's a teenager, or like sneak out of the house or go to parties. And then John was like, what if she's like a goody two shoes? Like, what if she's just a rule follower and she like gets mad at us for like smoking pot in the garage? Like, what if she's like, oh my God, mom, dad, like you can't be doing that all the time? Like, what if she's that type of person? Because that's who we would get. That is karma. What if she's like a Jesus lover, you know?
Oh yeah. And you
That could
said
be a
you have
thing.
to start going to church regularly.
Yeah, she's like, mom, dad, you need to go to church. You need to atone for your sins. And we're going to be like, LOL, what sins?
Yeah. Next thing you know,
Perfect.
you're getting baptized.
Oh my God. But yeah, John was like, she could very well be like a churchgoer, like who's like a little goody two shoes and like doesn't do anything bad. And I was like, you know what's so funny is that's my worst fear.
Like, I'd rather her be a hellion.
I know, I've been like thinking about like her crazy teenage years, and I'm like, no, but what if she's like a good girl? That would be so crazy for me to have a child like that.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I can't imagine. I just don't see that happening, even though the churchgoer side is technically in her blood.
It is.
down the line.
It's in her blood. Yeah. We got some religion on one side of the family. Or she could be a Jew and the other side of the family's influence. We'll see.
Maybe
We'll see.
maybe she gets really into being a Jew and gets really Jewish. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool, actually.
That would be kind of cool.
If she ever starts to try to be like really religious, I would push it in
Push
the
her in the Jewish side.
direction.
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because there's like fun traditions and stuff,
Yeah, being Jewish is fun. As someone who is semi-Jewish.
Yeah. The
It's a good
menorah.
idea.
Or,
The menorah.
wait, the
The
Hanukkah?
menorah. Yeah, it's a menorah. You got
Okay.
it. I'm proud of you. Okay, an unrelated but semi-related question. Should I get chickens?
I think you should.
Right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be so fun?
The only thing is, I have heard that they do smell a little bit, but I'm not one that bothers me so much. So if you are someone who's very sensitive to smells, and honestly, you could throw up some flowers around them.
Okay,
Problem
right?
solved.
We have like really good smelling roses in the backyard. So,
Yeah.
because there's this place like literally a 2-minute walk from me that sells baby chicks. and they have baby chicks right now. And I went in to look at them with some friends, and I was like, oh, I'm tempted. I'm so tempted. They're like $5 and you can buy a whole chick.
You've almost bought one of these so many times. Like one time Hannah played a trick on John when he was out of town and was like, I bought one.
Yeah, because John, like, really, I've like surprised him before with a little creature. Back when we were in college, I was like, I have a surprise for you. And he thought it was going to be good. But I bought a hamster and I was like, you get to build the cage now. So that was like my fun surprise. But yeah, so he went out of town on a work trip and I was so bored. I was doing so much online shopping, and Tori and I were talking like hours and hours and hours a day. And I was walking by the baby chicks to go get some food. And I took a picture of them and I was like, I think I'm going to get a chick. And then, like an hour later, I photoshopped a picture of me and like a little baby chick on my shoulder and sent it to him. And he was like, no, you didn't. And then I was like, yeah. And he was like, send me a video then. So I went on TikTok and I found a video of a baby chick with like a bush that we have in our yard. And I sent that to him and he was like, Hannah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
She took it there. She really took it there. I was like loving it. I was like, oh my gosh.
And then he started calling me then, and I was like sending it to voicemail. Because I was like, I'm gonna let him sit on this for a sec. And he was like, seriously, can you not do this? And I was like, what? We need a chick. So anyway, he really doesn't want us to get one, but I think we could have chickens and we would have eggs and it would be really fun. We could name them fun names.
100%.
Now I'm like plural, multiple chickens.
No, 100%. I think you should get like 2 though. Like
that'd be a solid start.
Yeah, I wouldn't get a ton of them.
And how fun would it be? Like, honestly, what I want to do is when Charlie's 4 months old, I feel like that's the perfect age to introduce a little baby chick to her and have a photo shoot, which selfishly is like the whole reason that I want to get the baby chick at this point. But also, I do think it would still be really fun to like have a little chicken coop and raise chickens. And I don't know how we got to this conversation, but I was just thinking a lot about it.
I mean, Easter is upon us. Wait.
It was just Easter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Easter's over. And that's also like bunnies. Oh, I guess it's chicks.
Yeah, chicks and bunnies.
Yeah, it was on 420. You gotta praise it or blaze it.
Is it? Oh, wait, oh, it was. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I don't even know what day it is. I'm like, where am I?
No, that's
what
fair.
Is this house I'm in?
The world.
That's what I've been lately. I took a break for like 3 solid months of not doing anything, and then I don't know, just been go. But I was back to the chicks thing. Growing up, one of my best friends, her name was Bethany, and she grew up with peacocks in her yard.
Oh my god, cool.
And that was fun. The only thing is they were kind of loud sometimes. They'd be like, ah.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful. So imagine like she had a huge backyard though, lived on the water.
I know, I'm like, that's big. I was like trying to picture them in my backyard and I'm like, they would not fit.
You know, we moved in here and we've spent like next to no time here. Me in particular, because
I know you've been out.
Yeah, which was an accident. Everything just like fell like back to back. Like we spurred the moment, went to Austin, Texas, and then this trip had been planned, but I got invited to something in Boston, which I'm going to that on the 1st.
Fun. Go see all your friends.
Yeah, I'm going to see some friends. And then on the 6th, I'm going back to New York for my birthday because I also got invited to an event the day after my birthday.
Oh my god, yeah, your birthday is upon us.
Oh
no. I know, birthdays get less fun when you creep up in age.
I know, I'm like, can we not? Just like, it's fine. You know, I'm like, if I ignore it, doesn't mean it. I still want the gifts, you know? I still want Matt to get me this stuff, but I just don't want that number to change.
Yeah, I feel you. I think at the age that we're at now, you can start turning the same age that you already are. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, even, let's go back. Rewind.
I'm 31 and I'm okay with that, and I will just be 31 forever.
Hey, I want to be
31.
You know what I would love to be right now is like 28.
28. I was gonna go 27, but yeah, 28, great age. Also, just 30. I loved being 30.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it. Now
I
I'm
will,
31.
but I will say the 30s in general are great years. Like these have been my
Yeah.
favorite years of all the years. Like way better than 20s. Like
Oh,
way
yeah.
better in my opinion.
I'm with you. 30's the best.
Yeah, New York was super fun. I love New York. Like we did so much fun stuff like except for I accidentally hardly slept the night before and so we got there and I was just so like jet lagged feeling and we couldn't check in to our hotel cuz it wasn't able to be checked in yet and our flights landed at like 8 o'clock in the morning and so we were just like walking around getting bagels and one of the things that we did was we stumbled into this like store talking to this guy and he was like oh we were telling him like he was like what are y'all doing today and we're like nothing really we have like plans to go to this restaurant called okay there's this new thing I discovered so this is something you need to be aware of too, Hannah. Because okay, I do this thing where if I find out something cool or something like kind of fancy or hip or I don't know, like something that I feel like that I'm obsessed with that I feel like Hannah
Mhm.
needs to know about because I know she would be obsessed with too. I like send it to Hannah and I'm like, oh Hannah, this is something you need to be made aware of because it just came across my desk, And
Yes, I love it.
so I'll send Hannah texts like this all the time. Have you heard of things? They're really big in Tokyo, but they're called listening bars. Have you heard of that?
No.
So apparently, like in Japan and in Tokyo, people will go to a listening bar, and there's like two different ways it can be done. There's either like a record like player at each table, and you just like go up and you like pick a record and you play it, and you sit at your table with headphones and you just like chill listening to like the records that are at the bar,
That's
yourself
cute.
or the more common concept which is the concept I like the best and which was the one that we went to is there's a list of like all the songs and it's like everyone gets like a piece of paper with a list of all the songs and you like circle which you get to pick one and then they grab them all and then they like play them like
That's
so
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 cute.
each person gets to play a song so you feel like you created like the playlist.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
and everyone's like listening to the songs together and you're always like oh I wonder who like played this song, you know what I mean, but it's called a listening bar.
That's so cute. Wait, have you been to Japan?
No, I want to so that it's high on my list.
We're talking about going next April with the little bean because she'll be like 14 months, so like just over a year. And I feel like that'll be a really fun time to go.
Well, and I hear it's like one of the safest places ever.
I've just been like really wanting to go. And I'm like, what better time than when she's like a year old? Like, how fun would that be?
No, 100%. But I'm sure that there's listening bars, but they're not really like like they do have cocktails there, but they have other stuff too. You know what I mean? Like they had food like popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
like in
Yeah,
Japan
but
and
girly
stuff.
loves a bar. I mean, I know she can't drink, but she loves a bar.
But in Japan and stuff, like people go to them and like drink coffee.
So fun. What a great way to like spend an afternoon.
I'm sure that there's some in San Francisco. So
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll look into that. I'm sure there is. That seems like a
yeah,
real San Francisco thing.
100%. If anywhere, there's probably more in San Francisco than in New York. But so we went to, so we're like, oh, we're just going to dinner at this place called Tokyo Listening Bar. They do like a coursed dinner, which we tried to get into, but they were sold out for the night. I was so sad.
Oh.
And the course dinner is so cool. It's only $65 a person, which isn't that bad for a nice dinner in New York. And at the end of the meal, everyone gets to leave with a slice of pizza. They like send you home with a slice of pizza.
Wait, I love that.
Isn't that
Oh my
cool?
God. That's so smart.
I know. We did eat upstairs because they have like food upstairs too. It's just a la carte. And the guy was like, oh, you're doing that. My friend has a comedy show that's like right around the corner in a barbershop. It's called Barbershop Comedy. It's a barbershop during the day, but they do comedy shows at night. A couple nights out of the weekend. There's one tonight. Y'all should go. It's only like $17. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And he just showed us the website. And so we like booked it right there on the spot and we went, it was literally in an actual barber shop. There's only like 2 lines of seats and we're sitting there. There's like clippers and stuff like hanging. And so we like did the barbershop comedy, and then we went to the Tokyo. And I was like, New York is just so magical. And we just
I
learned this
know.
from that
That's what I
guy.
love. That's what I love about New York. You can just like just do so you can live so many different lives in like one day.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
it was
I
so
miss
cool.
it. I haven't been there since like pre-COVID.
But you'll be back, especially when Matt and I have our place there. We'll go all the
Yes.
time.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh. So it was just Cella and Stagecoach, and we have to talk about it.
Oh my gosh, I know. Also, I was really happy to see because I feel like last year the fashion at Coachella, it was like you had to be too cool for school. And I was
Mm.
happy to see the resurgent of like some more like funner outfits, you know? Because
Yeah, I love that it's like a whole fashion show, which it used to be, but fashion was very different back in like 2012. But yeah, the outfits this year, they were pretty good.
yeah, no, they were. And I feel like we've come back to center. You know what I mean? Like 2012 through like 2016, 18, 19, like they were kind of like crazy, super
Hmm.
Vanessa Hudgens, like everywhere, like
Yeah.
flashy glitter, like, crazy. And then they got like last year in particular, not this year, but last year was like too cool for school, like
Mhm.
jean shorts and a white tank top. And I'm like, you're at Coachella.
That's
Come
so boring.
on.
I
Yeah.
know. Like if you're gonna do that, you should at least be at Stagecoach.
Yeah, exactly. And so I really liked this year. It seemed like it was the perfect amount of everything, from what
Yeah.
I saw.
I didn't follow the event like super closely this year, obviously, because I like haven't been scrolling that much, unfortunately. But I was following Stagecoach a bit more, and I've been to Stagecoach a few times. I've never been to Coachella
You've
because
been to
I'm like,
Stagecoach?
oh yeah, I'm a
I didn't
country
know.
girl.
I know, but I did not know you've been to
I
Stagecoach.
I think I went 3 times in college,
Oh my god.
and like so fun. But you know what I found like in college, which was like 20, what I graduate 2016. So it was like probably 2014, 2015, 2016. Was that people do treat it like a Coachella. Like people are not really there for the music. And back then it was real country. And this year, like Backstreet Boys were playing and like Creed was playing. And I was talking to our friend Katie about it because Katie went,
Mm.
and she was saying that they're doing that to try to make it less Trumpy
Oh, okay.
and less MAGA. And she said that the crowd was just like horrible at Stagecoach this year. Like it was very aggressive, and it was very just like she didn't feel safe. And she was like, I didn't even want to stay past like dark because it just like felt too scary. I was like, damn, this used to be a real good time. And I mean, yeah, when I went, it was pre-Trump, but also it was still like very conservative and very cowboy and that kind of culture. But so I could
I mean,
see how it would
but,
be like that.
but also, what do you expect? Like, it's a country music
Exactly.
festival. Like,
I know. And
that's
that's why
like
I think like they're not having the headliners be like major country people anymore. They're like more, I don't know, I guess
branching
it
out.
felt pop boy band like Lana.
Hmm. That's cool. But that it's Lana. But
Yeah.
I personally, what I've heard is that like when you age out of Coachella, you go to Stagecoach and it's like more chill. Like not for everyone. Like if you're there for the
Hmm.
country music, then you go like whenever. But like the like people like our age, we would like probably not go to Coachella. We'd be like, let's go to Stagecoach, and it's like just chiller.
Yeah, you would think that, but like people are rowdy at
Yeah,
Stagecoach. And like I've never been to Coachella. I think Coachella is more like hard drugs and Stagecoach is like drunk people.
that makes
And
sense. That makes a
yeah,
lot of sense.
yeah, it does. Where people should go if they are a little older and they want more of a chill environment is Bottle Rock, which is the concert weekend that happens in Napa, and that one is high class.
I want to go to that. That seems like our
Oh,
vibe.
you would
You've
love
been.
it.
You've been though.
Yeah, but I had like the most weird thing happen to me. Like I was just talking to my friend about this because I went last year for the first time and I threw my back out. And so I like could barely walk, and it got so bad that I had to leave before like I think it was Lizzo or someone came on, and like
No.
I know I was in that much pain. And so my friend, I like haven't seen her since, and she was like, "Hope your back's okay." And I was like, "My back." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it was like that weird like 3 days where I like threw my back out and like could not walk." And of course that was during Bottle Rock. So it was like very unfortunate for me.
Oh no, talk about timing.
I know, but a great time. But yeah, I don't know. This year I feel like it was just kind of weird. Like I think the country's just so divided. And so like it's triple divided, right? Because there's like the normal people like you and me, and then there's like the really, really big influencers, and then there's the MAGA crowd.
Yeah.
And all three groups of people like went to these weekends, and yeah, I don't know. Seems like a strange time.
It's a strange time in the world in general, and
Mm,
like putting people together. I'm sure it's just, especially in a state like California where politics are like okay, there's certain states like California, like Massachusetts, like I don't know, where things are very much like one way leaning and they're not like kind of a mixed bag. In those states, like it's like makes you like question on a big event like, ooh, does this person, like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Whereas if it's more commonplace in your everyday life, like you're not, it's not as like top of mind and it's not as divisive, I think. Obviously it's divisive either way, but
Yeah. Also, guys, sorry if you hear my baby crying. John's on it. She's just having a
oh,
day. But yeah, Stagecoach. So Lana performed. So I'm a really big Lana fan, and I have been since like day one, like since she was Lizzie Grant ages ago. And she performed a new song, Lasso, at Stagecoach. I don't know if she performed more than one new song because I, again, have not been on social media much. But I was looking at this song, and apparently, like, it has so many haters, and everyone's like, this is such a weird song. And I'm like, no, no, this is classic Lana. And the song is so good. Have you heard of it? Or have you
no,
heard it?
I need to go, I need to go listen to it. I
I'm
love
like,
her.
put this on Spotify immediately. It is it's so good. It's so real. She's talking, it says something like, I have 52.5 million Spotify listeners, monthly Spotify listeners, and everyone's like, that's so weird. And I'm like, no, that's Lana.
No, good for her.
Queen.
You know who I did enjoy following at Coachella, like their whole thing? Alex Earl. I loved all of her outfits.
Oh
I thought
yeah.
they were also her so great. She looks like she was having the best time, which she always does because she's like party girl. That's just like who she is, and I love that about her.
Okay, you know what I find funny about Alex Earl though is she parties like crazy. And I get that she's in her early 20s, but I see everyone, they're like, there's no way she's doing this without a little, you know?
Yeah.
And she's out here like, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs. And I'm like, Queen, people have seen you doing drugs, like
No,
in real life. Like, you can't just be out here like lying and
well,
saying that.
I think it's either Coke or Adderall. I have friends who like didn't take Coke regularly,
Oh,
but
they did Adderall.
they had an Adderall prescription that they used regularly. You know,
Because remember when she did that 24-hour partying?
that's got to be Adderall or Coke. I bet it's Adderall.
Or both.
Well, because if she was doing Coke, I think we would have. It'd be more obvious in her videos, like.
But it is.
But I don't see like her jaw swinging or like, you know what I mean, like the telltale Coke signs, like the eyes. You can
Mm.
see people's eyes. Like I don't see those. I'm not saying that that's not there, but
Mm-mm.
what I, to me, it looks like an abuse of Adderall rather than
Interesting.
cocaine.
Because, yeah, to party for 24 hours, I don't care how old you are. I don't think I could have done that at 16. Like, that's crazy of her. And she's what,
No,
24, 25?
24. That's extended release Adderall, 30 milligrams.
I love it.
I know that. That
Tori knows.
I've been there.
Like, and this is exactly what she's on. I'm like, she's doing coke. Tori's like, no, I know exactly what she's doing, actually.
I'm from Panama City Beach, Florida, okay?
True. True. You know those people.
Spring
Alex Earl,
break.
did you see that she's partnering with Pantene?
No, I didn't.
That
But
like
that
came
makes
out
sense.
today. This I'm like, I opened Instagram for 1 second and this is the knowledge I have now. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. it's just so easy for her because I remember like months ago she was like, I went home and used like this shampoo in my shower instead of my expensive stuff, and it was just like the Pantene cheap kind. Look, months later she probably is like million
She's,
dollar contract.
I know. Now she's partnering with Pantene. Oh, oh, Alex Earl. She's wild.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Okay, other than the festivals that have been happening in the world, some other crazy stuff has been happening, and that is Jojo Siwa, who I feel like everyone loves to hate, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I love to hate her too, but not like hate, like, you know what I mean? She's like the person who, how would you describe her? She's like
Like, she
every,
literally put her face all over the outside of her car and drove around LA, cutting people off, driving like a maniac. And everyone's like, we know who you are because you plastered your face on the outside of your car. Like, she's that kind of person.
and the whole rebrand with her like wearing the Kiss outfit and like,
Yeah. And being like, I'm so cool. I'm so edgy. Like, it's
yeah.
just, I mean, I think it's hard to go from like a child star to like growing up, which obviously we've seen a lot of pop princesses kind of go through, but she's just, it's just
I
too
know.
much.
Yeah. But she went on Big Brother, like Big Brother UK, which I
Mhm.
haven't like deep dove into this that much, but I've watched a little bit of videos have come across my desk, and she, you know, she's been a lesbian for forever. That's like all she's pretty much talked about, or all she's pretty much said.
For like the last
And
couple of years.
yeah, and she literally was like seen on the Big Brother show cuddling with this guy and like being kind of feminine with him, like way more than she's ever acted. Like she
Mm.
normally is kind of like mask presenting. I don't want to like label her if that's not how she feels comfortable, but I'm just like the assumptions that I'm making of her are that she like presents that way, like more masculine, like not very feminine. And on this show, she was like cuddling and dancing and like giggling, and it looks like she had genuine feelings for him. And then after the show, she has since come out and said, no, I thought I was gay. And then I went on the show and I think I just, you know, like people for like, I just fall for people rather than like genders. But I do like
Mm.
prefer females. But yeah, it like blew her mind apparently
Interesting.
that she could like fall for a guy because she like quite obviously like was falling for that guy from the UK, which
Yeah,
was
I was
crazy.
just looking up this article on it because I've like only heard a little bit about this. And she's apparently saying that they're just platonic friends and they're not romantic partners, but the guy suggested they could be soulmates. So, a
Yeah,
soulmate friendship.
but she also said that she had feelings for him.
I mean, I kind of I feel like in this day and age actually, and I was talking to John about this. I think everyone's a little bit gay. And I think
Yeah.
it's starting to become for a lot of us, not all of us obviously, but a lot of us especially in these states like California and Massachusetts and New York, like everyone's starting to be a little bit like I'm just into the person and not their gender or their presenting gender. And I think that's really great. And because we were talking about like Charlie and who she's going to be when she's a teenager. And I was like, I bet she'll be a little gay. Like, who isn't a little gay these days, you know?
And you know, I love whatever JoJo decides to do, especially when it comes to that, is totally cool. Like, love that journey for her. I know a lot of lesbians are like feeling like a different type of way about it, and I can
Mm,
understand why that would maybe be hurtful for them when they like saw someone that they felt maybe represented by. Because sometimes I feel that way when like a bigger person loses a lot of weight. I'm like,
yeah.
excuse you, you know, and I'm not like ever
Mm-hmm.
mad at them, but like there's a part of me that feels like left behind, if that makes
Mm,
sense. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I'm not mad at them in the sense that I would like hold it against them for like making a decision for themselves, because I believe that everyone can do whatever they want to do. There is a part of me that I'm like, "Ugh, didn't you want to like hang out with us and be like
Yeah.
here in this club with us? Like, you know, like, aren't we enough for you? Like, you know?
Yeah. Which brings us to our next topic,
Yeah.
Remy Bader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has been a name on a lot of people's tongues. If you guys are not familiar with Remy, I'll give you a quick synopsis. So, Remy Bader is a very, very large New York City influencer who basically got famous because of her realistic fashion hauls on a realistic body. So, she was more plus size leaning, and she I mean, I don't want to like she definitely was like struggling with her weight, but you could tell even though she started to make her whole brand of like being plus size and trying on like clothing and making these realistic fashion videos, like she did not want to be labeled plus size. Like
I know.
that
I
was
think she
clear.
made that very clear from the beginning. Even every interview she did, like she
Mhm.
also openly talked about how much she hated her body when she gained weight. Like,
Yeah.
like even though
No,
she
she
loved
was
herself, she was like, I don't like this.
mhm.
So,
I would say like I feel like she was never like super body positive, but she almost pretended to be
yeah.
like to gain followers is what like because it was weird because you'd see videos where she'd be like, you should love yourself, like no matter what, and we can wear anything. But then in interviews, she talked about like, well, I absolutely hate my body and I want to lose weight and I don't want to be fat and like all this stuff, which like is confusing enough. But then I think where it got tricky is she started to lose a lot of weight. And everyone was like, hey, what's going on? Like, are you on Ozempic? Like, did you have weight loss surgery? And instead of like responding to those people, she would block them or she would just be like deleting their comments or responding and being like really, really mean. And I've also had it where she's responded to one of my videos and was like kind of mean.
Wait, really?
And I mean, because I made a video about this like years ago about Remy, and she responded and was just like, I mean, she didn't like it, you know? I think that's the thing about Remy is like she's this big public figure, but she doesn't like feedback.
Yeah. What was the video that you made, and what were you responding about? Like,
Oh, the video, I think it was about when she released that line with Revolve because
mhm.
Revolve sent me all the clothes. And so I did like a try on and I reviewed like all the styles. And I wouldn't say it was a negative video by any means, but I was a bit like, I wish we could have done more with this. Like, I wish the quality was better, like all of this stuff. And she responded and was just like really butthurt about the video. And I thought I was going to get blocked because she like blocks everyone. Like, that's a big thing for her. But anyway, so she was like deleting all these comments, blocking people. Like, anytime someone would like bring up, like, hey, you've lost weight, like, what's going on? Which I get like you shouldn't like comment on other people's bodies, but when you've capitalized on that and you have created an audience where it's been primarily about your body, then I don't know, maybe you don't like lie to people and get mad when people ask. And she straight up was like, nope, just diet and exercise, just diet and exercise, and was like lying about this. She just came on this podcast, like, what was it, like a month ago, 2 months ago, and
Mhm.
was like, oh, yeah, I had weight loss surgery. And everyone
Yeah.
was like, you've been straight up lying about this for years. Well, a year, like since she lost all this weight.
See, my thing about her is I feel like she was someone who just blew up in 2020. Like she was very much in that first wave of TikTok influencers who like got really lucky with like when a new app blows up and you're one of the first
Mm-hmm.
to jump on it. And she was like the first like bigger girl. So I feel like we all picked her and we're like, you're gonna be the body positive girl. And she
Mm-hmm.
never necessarily signed up for that. She never like was like, oh wait, no, this isn't who I am, and made that a firm thing. She said things and alluded to it, but she definitely like, and I mean, who wouldn't, even if that's not like who you feel to be yourself, like are you going to like step away from all these opportunities like because this is like the role that you're falling into,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's something to really think about because I don't think I could walk, but that is something that I lean into a little bit too. So, I mean, what do you think? Like even if
I
that's
mean,
something.
I think what kind of sucks is just like having someone who's plus size be like, oh my God, I hate my body. I hate everything about myself. All I want to do is change. Like, and to be a public figure, I think that kind of sucks. But I think what everyone was more upset about was like, hey, lose weight, do whatever you want for your health. Like, that's not the issue, but don't lie about it. That's
Yeah.
always been my thing. And nobody seems to understand this. Like, with the Ozempic era, I'm like, you can take Ozempic, like you can lose weight, you can focus on your health. I do not care. But don't lie about it if you're a public figure, because that's not healthy either. Like that's not healthy for your followers to be like, "Oh my god, I'm doing something wrong because I'm doing all this diet and exercise and I'm not able to lose the weight and she lost it so easily." You know?
No, I totally agree. My only thing is that I get maybe like she wasn't ready to talk about it then, or like maybe she wasn't ready to like tell people, which I think that is your right to say, like, okay, I'm not ready to talk about this, but I think a year is too long. Like, give yourself a couple of months, give yourself maybe even like 4 months or 6 months max, but to go like over a year and to lose all of it before you're ready to talk about it, that's like, it's like, okay, now that I am skinny and I feel great, I can talk about it now. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like that's what's missing here. It's like, yes, I think that she was allowed time for herself to like go through a
Mhm.
major surgery like that and a major thing and like process that on her own first, but not she took way too much time.
I think this really begs the question though, like if you are an influencer who is directly profiting off of your followers, like do you are you still entitled to privacy? I think this is like a really prevalent question and honestly, I don't really know the answer. Like I feel like I go kind of both ways on this cuz yeah, I think everyone's entitled to privacy, but at the same time, if these are basically your customers, like if you are directly profiting off of them, then maybe you owe it to them to like continue sharing parts of your life that maybe make you a little bit more uncomfortable and not just to delete, lie or like block these people.
No, I agree. I think that she should have like been required to tell certain aspects, especially about that. But do I think that she had to do it like right away, right then as it was
Mhm.
happening? No, because I do think that she's allowed to process it and say it and do it in a way that she like feels comfortable in her own time. I don't think that a year later after you've lost all of the weight is in your own time.
I don't know. I just think more than just like Remy, it's like just a general question of like, are these people entitled to privacy if you are directly benefiting off of your followers?
Yeah. I do.
I
I
don't
think
know.
that people are allowed to some privacy. Not all of it though.
Yeah,
Like, which I hate to say that, but like you really aren't, or this just isn't your job. You are if you don't want it to be your job, you know?
exactly. Like that's the thing. Like if you want to stop benefiting off of your followers, like monetarily or otherwise, then maybe yeah, do that. And then you can like have a lot more privacy. But I think if you are making all of your money off of like being an influencer, then and people start to catch on to something like, "Hey, can you tell us about this?" and you're just going to block them. I just think it's crazy. But I'm also like I'm not a big Remy Bader fan. I like never have been. She bugs the living crap out of me. And she always has. So maybe I'm like not the best cuz I'm like a little bit biased here. But yeah, I just thought that was it was really shitty. Like I've been talking about this for like over a year. Like we've been in the Ozempic era for a while now. And I'm like, I don't care if you take Ozempic. I don't care if you lose weight. I don't care if you go on a health journey, but don't lie about it.
Yeah. No, totally.
We should do a whole
Okay.
episode on this actually.
Yeah, we should one day talk
Yeah.
about like privacy and influencer culture.
Well, and
Um,
also like weight loss and the Ozempic era and because I have a lot of thoughts.
yeah. We should talk about the big influ or some big influencers who've done it wrong and maybe some who've done it like right, you know?
Yeah.
Also, okay, there's this thing I've been really meaning to tell you about. You probably have no idea what any of this is, but do you know who Brianna Olsen is or who 2K is?
No.
Okay. Or Santos?
Nope.
Okay, I have found myself through late night doom scrolling on like this sub side of TikTok. And it is like my guilty pleasure. It's my new like Reddit. It's my new
Oh
like
my god.
little thing. It is like a reality show, but it's real life. And You would love it, Hannah. This little corner of the internet that I found myself in. And it's really sad, actually, a little bit of it. Because, like, okay, one of them, there's this girl named Brianna, and she had a baby with 2K, who's this, like, guy. And he's hilarious, by the way. He's, like, kind of sassy. He blew up online for being a barber. And just, like, he's funny. Like, just, you know, those people, in the way that they talk, they're just funny. He's like that.
Mhm.
And so they were dating, and then they weren't dating, but then she ended up getting pregnant by him. They were always long distance, so she's based in Los Angeles. Anyway, she ends up somehow like giving him, like, whenever they were switching off custody, he serves her for like full custody like 2 days after she gives birth. Like, it's a messy thing. He ends up, like, now he has full custody of the baby, but she does like OnlyFans. She's part of this thing called like the MILF house, where it's like all of the girls who live in the house. It's kind of like the Bop House, but they all are like moms of OnlyFans. You know what I mean? And but the thing is none of them really take care of their kids, so that's where it's sad. And like 2K has the baby full time, and she like doesn't really like how he even got full custody is because like while he was in LA like trying to get the baby, like she was just always leaving him with him. So it ends up being to where I don't know, somehow he got it and now she's like trying to get it back. But so she only sees him 1 week out of the month, the baby. And just
God.
recently, which was the big thing, was during her week, it was court ordered that she had to have her visit in Texas where he's from, but she took the baby back to LA and brought it to the MILF house, like the content house, and we like had the baby in the MILF house. And this is a baby, like he wasn't even a year old. And so obviously 2K does not play, and 2K's lawyers were like on speed dial, and like all of this was streamed, by the way. Like this is the thing.
God.
These people stream everything. So like that's why like I can just go catch up, and people clip their lives all the time because they stream on Kick or something, which I didn't even know was still around. But people like will clip their like good parts because they also all date each other in the house, and then like this one breaks up with this one, and then like this kid's mom is there with this baby. Like it's crazy. There's also Valet who like she like dropped her kids off at the dad's doorstep and like ran off. They call her the DoorDash mom. It's like crazy. But anyways, long story longer, I love late at night when I'm about to go to sleep, I just like go catch up on like whatever clips of their lives have been circulating for the day, and like catch up on their like hot gossip of the day. I do feel very bad for the kids involved, obviously, but
MILF house, that's freaking wild. This is starting to feel like 2020 all over again with like the Bop House, MILF house. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I also kind of love that like it's giving like Big Brother without the reality competition aspect, and people are just like creating their own shows.
No, totally. Like this guy named Jordan also like runs the house, and like the girls in this MILF house, they signed a contract and he takes 40% of their earnings.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but he apparently like manages them and sets them up with the deals, and I'm like,
That's a lot.
Why do you need someone to manage you on OnlyFans? Like, can't you just like handle that yourself? Like, that's crazy
so
to me.
Freaking wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's wild. And he's there with his exotic cars, and so the house that they live in is like the old house that Justin Bieber used to live in. Like, it's that house that you've seen. It used to be like one of the influencers' house. Like, I think it used to be like the Sway house or something. It's just like, it's really mindless to like, right before you fall asleep, if you're looking for something to just like quickly entertain yourself.
Dude, imagine trying to explain this to someone in like 1925.
They would never understand. Also, back to like more known things. The Pope died pretty recently.
Oh man,
which I'm really sad about.
Did Matt not know about this?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I saw stuff that they were doing like a Pope draft or something like that.
What?
Kind of like football, where they're like drafting a new Pope.
What?
I mean, kind of. The conclave.
Yeah, it's pretty big right now. It's like basically football.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pope Pope draft. Yeah, they
Pope
like
draft.
pick one.
Oh,
Pick a new one.
Yeah, so John was explaining this to me. So basically, it's called the conclave. And what they do is all of these, like, it's like a board of religious people at like the top of the church, and they all like lock themselves into this like room until they can decide who the new pope is going to be.
oh, and how long did they go into the like? How long did they normally last?
I don't know. I actually have never heard of this before. John told me.
It's giving jury duty. You know?
It is. Listen to this. Historically, conclaves have varied in length from just a few days to several years. For example, the conclave that elected Pope Francis in 2013 lasted only about 24 hours, while the conclave that elected Pope Gregory X in 1274 took 3 years.
So they were in a room for 3 years?
3 years.
Or did they go
That's-
stir crazy? Is
I
there
know,
a bathroom?
right? I know. I'm like, are you allowed to sleep? In the past century, no conclave has lasted longer than 5 days. So,
Still kind of a long time. There should be a movie about the a conclave. You know what I mean? I would watch that, like a blockbuster hit movie.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, that sounds like the name of a movie, Conclave.
Oh, so it's starting on May 7th. So it's
day
about
after
to
my
start.
birthday.
Well, there's this guy on TikTok who's been doing like Real Housewives of the Vatican.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Where he's breaking down like all the potential new popes, and it is so funny.
Okay, I've got to send me the link. The Pope who died, though, everyone said he was like the people's Pope. Like, I didn't know this,
He's a goat.
but apparently he was like a really like cool dude. Like, he used to be a bouncer at a nightclub before
Wait,
he was
what?
before he was the Pope. He was a bouncer at a nightclub. He was a janitor, and then
Oh,
like
I didn't
later,
know that.
yeah, later in life he like became religious and then became the Pope.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You can just like become the Pope. Like, I want there to be a woman Pope.
is that such a thing though? Can that be even a thing?
Let's Google it. Can a woman be the Pope? No.
Matt said we cannot, unfortunately.
Nope.
He's Catholic, so he might know.
Oh, there's a law against it. That's crazy.
Hey, how
But
do we
the
change
law-
the law? Let's change it.
It literally came out in like a long time ago. The
Yeah,
law.
what's up with- y'all aren't changing that law, but yeah. I mean,
Matt, don't tell us. We could do anything we set our minds to.
Yeah, I kind of hate this.
women Pope.
That's very
Guys, why not?
sexist of the Catholics.
Yeah.
Nothing new there.
That's true.
Checks out.
I love that Matt just like Matt wants to be like a permanent part of this podcast.
I know. He's like the off, on the podcast how they have the off camera person who like does the research and shouts it. Matt actually is Catholic. He was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school. I mean, he's
Oh,
not
poor
really Catholic.
thing.
He's Catholic in the same way that you're Jewish, you know?
Oh yeah, like barely.
Yeah. Like one time we went out to dinner a gazillion years ago, like when we were dating, like first dating, and we were with his friends who he also went to Catholic school with, and it was like, because apparently when you're Catholic, there's certain days that you can't eat meat or pork or something. Or we're at a wine bar, and so we're ordering dinner. Matt was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this," and then they were like, "Matt, you can't eat that. It's whatever day it is." And Matt was like, "No."
Something Friday.
Like something Matt doesn't even know. He was like, was it something Friday or something? I don't know.
Wow.
And Matt was like, oh, I'm gonna be just fine. I'm eating this. Like y'all have fun
Yeah.
if y'all don't want to eat that.
It's like wild to me that there are some religions that are like you can't even eat this certain thing. Like, what does that have to do with our relationship with the Lord?
I know, for real. And then the last thing on our list, we could end it with a bang or a firework.
Are we all
A
gonna-
firework.
y'all gonna-
Katy Perry.
Firework.
Katy
Katy Perry. Katy goddamn Perry.
Our thoughts on her and the astronaut brigade, also known as Blue Origin, which Hannah didn't know. That's what it was.
No, literally Tori like sent me her list of stuff to talk about, and it was like Blue Origin, Katy Perry, and I was like, oh, we should talk about Katy Perry going to space. And Tori was like, yeah.
I was like, exactly.
I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what that was called.
Yeah.
Katy Perry. What a hated woman.
I know. I know. I
It's so
felt bad
sad.
for her. So her fall from grace should be studied because she used to be
Mhm.
like at one point the like most famous, the like most successful, like hit maker
I
person in the world.
know.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either, but she is so hated now.
What do you think it was? Like, what was the turning point? You think it was like a couple bad albums or like.
I feel like I'm not even here. Why do people hate Katy Perry? I'm like not even well versed enough. I mean, okay, she did become a judge on like American Idol,
But
and that
actually,
wasn't
like,
good for her.
but I liked her on there. I thought she did
Really?
good. Yeah. Did you
Oh, I
watch
couldn't.
her?
I couldn't stand her on there.
Really? She was kind of dramatic for sure, like flailing
Yeah.
around and stuff all the time. But I enjoyed it. I was like, that's fine.
Also, I feel like there's been a lot of stuff with her concerts that she's just been like doing a terrible job.
Really? I did see her
Mhm.
perform fairly a couple years ago on a cruise ship. My friend Sydney invited me on a trip of a lifetime not that long ago, a couple years ago, where because she works with cruise lines a lot, and it was like the inaugural sail. And I didn't know this because I'm not like a huge cruiser. All ships, which I don't know if this is true for like the super bougie ones, like your mom goes on, Hannah, but all ships
Mhm.
have like a godmother. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so like all ships, like and like if there's, it's called a christening, like the very first sail that a cruise ship does, and so it was like the christening of their brand new ship. It was Norwegian's newest ship.
Mhm.
What was it called? The Prima, Norwegian Prima, and Katy Perry was on there with Orlando Bloom, and we saw her multiple times. Sydney and I almost ran smack into her getting off the elevator. We actually did. We almost like hit her. We like were walking off the elevator, and she was like coming on, and we were like the only people because it was only like the small group of people on the ship, for the christening. It's not a full boat by any means. It's
Oh,
just like
that's so
press
fun.
and media people, you know what I mean, who are on the
Yeah.
boat. And also, like, then at the nightclub, we were like dancing one night. Katy Perry and what's his face are just behind us, like in sunglasses and like sweatshirts, like hoods, and they're just like dancing right behind us, and we're all like, they're right there. all
That's
our.
so fun.
It was so fun. But she performed for the ship that night,
Oh,
or
that's
one of the
cool.
nights.
I found this whole thread in Threads that's like why Katy Perry is so problematic, and everyone just shares like different things that she did that like made her problematic. But honestly, I think they're all kind of small.
Yeah, like nothing. So it's like death by a thousand cuts for her.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, I don't know, I've seen some things that made me like feel the opposite. Like when she was breaking up with, or she found out that like Russell Brand wanted a divorce, and then she like literally went on stage and performed. Like, that's strength.
I know. I actually like her. Like, I feel like people should lay off. And I do understand the Blue Origin. And my thing,
Mhm.
it's like that was a waste of money. If the mission was to like empower women and to like show that women can do anything in like male dominated spaces, $1 billion could have went a lot, or I think it was 6 billion, something like that. However much it cost, like that could have went so much, could have done so much more.
Yeah, like they could have celebrated an all female astronaut trip to space, not like inviting these random like influencers and celebrities to like take a ride up to space for like 10 minutes, which is like extremely harmful to our climate and our earth.
Yeah. Or they could have even just like donated it to like female founded companies, like startups or something that, there's just like a million other
I know. It was just like
ways.
not a good look.
Yeah, and they could have done all astronauts and maybe one celebrity, you know? But they went too far with the
Yeah.
full celebrity. It was too much, and it was way too. It's like, did they not foresee that going that way though? No one told them this
I
might come
know,
off bad.
seriously. And like her like literally getting off after a 10-minute trip to space and then like kissing the ground was too much.
Yeah. And her being like, we were going to put the ass in astronaut.
I didn't even see that.
Is what she said.
Jesus. She's just like not helping herself. The memes wrote themselves, I swear.
Yeah. Well, and in all of the like interviews, she was like, I'm gonna wear full glam to space. Like, you know?
I think like I'm like going through this thread of like why people hate her, and I'm like, yeah, she really doesn't help herself at all.
No.
I just can't believe this is where we are in life. Like everything going on with politics is crazy right now. We won't even get into that. And then seeing like this, you know, Katy Perry going up to space for 10 minutes and kissing the earth when she comes back down. Like, how 2025 is that? It's just crazy. Anyway, we are going to keep an eye out on more pop culture news to share with you guys, because what is going on in the year of our Lord 2025. And I'm glad that, Tori, you now know that Easter has passed for the year. I'll let you know when the 4th of July is gone. I love you. But yeah, you guys, thank you for being here. We're here every Monday. If there's any topics you want to see, feel free to write in. You can write any of us on Internet Girls Pod, that's Girls with a Z, on Instagram, or we are Tori Sunshine or Hanley Lifestyle. Let us know what you want to hear. Maybe we'll do some more guest episodes soon. Like maybe we'll go crazy. I don't know. Don't forget to rate and review, and